Good morning, stamping friends. Happy Friday to everyone. You know I love Fridays because it's kind of the start to our weekend, and it's just always a little bit of downtime in there. So I always look forward to our Friday mornings together, and then it's weekend time for me. Well, you are in for a treat today. I have some really fun projects to share with you. Plus, I'm going to share with you some techniques that's going to help you when you create these. We're going to be using the Stamparatus today, and in case you don't have the Stamparatus, I think after today's demonstration, I will convince you that you really do need this little gadget. It is going to make your life a lot easier when it comes to paper crafting. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get started on the projects today. I'm really anxious to show you what I've been playing with this morning. I got up this morning and I started playing with this bundle called Hats Off. And I'm not kidding, I have been playing with this since I got up this morning, and oh my gosh, I thought I have got to get going so I can do this video. So finally I just made myself stop, but the sky is the limit with this. It's just amazing what you can do with this stamp set. So again, it's called Hats Off, and these are the dies that come with it. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. So let me share some things with you. I just have one finished card that I'm going to show you, but then I have lots of other ideas. And so first, let's just start with the card. And then I want to show you some techniques for helping you with the stamp set. So what I did was I started with the card base is polished pink. This is the pink I've been grabbing with mostly this summer because it's a new in color. And I cut it to 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored on the long side at 4 1/4, and then just fold on that score line and use your going folder to just kind of make a really crisp line there. And then my next layer, I'm gonna have to measure these because I always forget what my measurements are after I cut. This is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And then the next layer is going to be basic white. And I think I just cut this a tiny bit smaller. Yep, so just 1/8 inch smaller than 5 by 3 3/4. All right, now let's work on the hat. So what I did was I used the spiral die. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate that right now because I have so many things I want to share, and I don't like my videos to get too long. But I have a video on how you use the spiral die so that it makes a nice little offset here, and I will link that video so you can see how you do that. It's really simple. You just stamp, and then you turn the paper 180 degrees and stamp again, and use the Stamparatus on that. So anyway, I did that, and then I cut it out, and it makes that cute little hat. And there's even stitching lines in here that you can probably not see real well on the video, but they are there. And then what I did was I took another piece of polished pink. Let me find my scrap. Here it is. What I did was I just die cut the brim part because I don't need the whole hat. And then what I'm going to do is just snip off right along that stitch line, just right above it. And we're going to make our hat kind of a two-tone. We're going to have the print on the top, and then the brim we're just going to make coordinating. And that's going to be in polished pink. So now what you're going to want to do is just adhere these together, and we're going to make this a feminine card. You know, when you look at the stamp set, it kind of looks a little bit masculine, but I want to show you how you can just turn it into feminine, because girls play ball too, right? And wear baseball caps. That's what we wear on bad hair days, right? All right, so that looks good. Now, the nice thing about this is because that stitching line is there, you can actually kind of form this to go forward, so it's going to have kind of a 3D look when we mount it on the paper. All right, now let's kind of dress this up a little bit. So eventually I'm going to put this on like this, and see how the bill of the hat kind of goes forward, 3D-ish. And then we are going to stamp the sentiment from the stamp set, and it says, "You're the best." All right, let me grab a block here. I forgot to get that. And actually, I'm going to use Here's to the Next Adventure. I forgot. All right, so now I need my polished pink ink. And let me move some of this out here. And I'll just put this on the corner like this. here's to the next adventure. And then I want to dress up the hat a little bit more. So I'm taking one of the little dies in polished pink, and I'm just going to stick a little dimensional on the back here. And then I'm going to add that star as well. So you can just eyeball where you want it. Whoops. And let's add another dimensional. This time we'll use a mini one for that little star. This is actually Daffodil Delight, which is the two inks that I used on that spiral die, Daffodil Delight and Polished Pink. All right, now it's coming together. All right, now I'm gonna add a little more interest to this white. It looks a little bit bare and boring to me, but if you like plain and simple, then you can just leave this as is. All right, I decided to use the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder, and I just want to make this look a little bit graffiti and whimsical. And so now what we're going to do is let's adhere this to the card front. So I'm going to start with this one, and we are going to make it even more whimsical by adding some multi-purpose liquid glue to the for the first layer, and I want to just kind of make it at a little bit of an angle like this, okay? Sometimes we get used to just making everything straight and perfect and lined up and borders, but sometimes it's fun just to offset things a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing with the white, but we're going to make it go the opposite direction and make it go this way just a little bit. And that way you can see the two tones of colors, and that looks nice. Do you see how that embossing on the basic white cardstock gives it just a little oomph? All right, now let's add a couple. Oh, you can see I played with colors. I used pumpkin pie, which is a nice combo with the polished pink, but I wanted to go bright and summery for this one. But you can see on the flip side, my experiments, which is another point I want to make. Anytime you do paper crafting, just know that there's two sides to every piece of cardstock, and if you don't like it, just flip it over. You don't have to throw that piece away. And look, you can't even see through it. Sometimes you think, oh, white, it's going to seep through, but it looks pretty good. All right, and then we're just going to offset that a little bit, and there's our cute little card with the hat. Very feminine. All right, now I want to show you all these other little tricks and techniques that I've learned as I was playing with this. So what you're going to need is the Stamparatus. And I'm going to show you what I did. I made a little template, and let me move the magnets just so you can see and it doesn't get confusing. What I did was first I took just Night and Navy. It really doesn't matter what cardstock you use. And I just die cut the hat out, and then I literally taped it to this piece of computer paper. You can see tape on here. And that makes a template. And then I took this stamp and I placed it right in these little grooves of where that die is, and it'll fit exactly. It just nestles right in there, and you make sure the lines are lined up. And then you want to, whoops, let's put the magnets on, otherwise everything's going to lift up. And like that. And then you want this to catch it, because this is going to be perfect. And the reason I do this is sometimes, you know, when you use photopolymer and it's a larger stamp, sometimes it doesn't ink in every spot. Like if you don't have it inked up well and you miss a spot, you want to have a second chance. And so that way, when it's lined up, you can do that. And if you want to make assembly line, by having this template, you can cut it out first and then stamp. An example of this one I already did, was, here's another one, just like it did with the tie-dye. Out of 1/4 of a sheet of paper, I could get 2 hats out of it. So what I did was I just set it right in that little groove there, and then I inked it up with polished pink, and then I stamped it, and there you can see the lines. If you want the lines outlined to the hat, you do that. So now I'm going to make another one. This one is just on Whisper White, and this one I'm going to have to hide because it's for my hubby. But I'm going to use Pacific Point because that's kind of what his colors are for work, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So let's just stamp. And again, if it doesn't hit in every place, I'm not worried about it. Actually, I did pretty good here. But if I wanted to do it again, let me just show you. Say I wanted it one shade darker. Just ink it up again. And by the way, the reason I put the stamp set under here is I don't like inking it at an angle like that, because then I get more ink over here. So if you just put your stamp case under here, it's a level field, and it'll just ink up better. All right, so let's just go. Oh, I guess it was a little bit light down there. Okay, now it's one shade darker. All right, now this is the fun part. What I did was I went online and I downloaded a whole bunch of logos that I might like to use. The one I started with was my husband's logo for his work. I don't even know if I've ever told you what my husband does besides fix things around our house. He's a good Mr. Fixer. But we own High Tech Automation, which is what brought us to Arizona. And to explain what he does in a nutshell, he designs and sells robots and robotic equipment, anything with automation. However, he hasn't come up with an automated stamping person who can stamp things automatically. I always tease him about that. And when our kids were younger, I wanted one that, a robot that cooked and cleaned, but he hasn't come up with that one either. But anyway, that's what he does. So the name of the company is High Tech Automation. The play on words is, our last name is Heiling, Heiling, and he spelled high tech, Heitek. So anyway, they have a website. So I pulled his logo off of there, and then I used one of the cute little dies in the die set that comes with this. And we're just gonna put this on right like this. I tried blue on blue. Let me show you what blue on blue looked like. That looks okay, but I think it looks better offset on the white. So he is gonna flip when he sees this. Anything monogrammed I think is so cool. And then see how there's not lines there? So you wanna make sure when you put the logo on that it falls in between there. There we go, he's gonna love that. All right, so that is one that I did. Let me show you a whole bunch of other ones that I did. So this one I pulled off my grandchild's, they go to a Christian school called Trinity. Hopefully they're not watching this video, but I'll make this for probably Eli. And then if I do Claire, she goes there as well. I'll make it a little more feminine. Maybe I'll do that tie-dye idea with the gorgeous grape. So isn't that one fun? And then this one, I actually was inspired by Wendy Waldman. Whoops, you know what? I should have put that up higher. That's what happens if you don't put it up higher and it doesn't meet that line. I wonder if I can remove that after it's on. I guess I can. Wow, that's pretty cool. So just reposition that above that line. There we go. So she put this on our demonstrator site, and that's kind of what got me down the bunny trail of, okay, if she can do John Deere, then really any logo will work. So that was kind of my inspiration for that. All right, and then we have my son-in-law went to Louisville and played baseball in college there, so I made two different hats. I'm almost positive he doesn't watch my videos, so I think I'm safe in showing you these. Whoops. There you go, Louisville. It's like, take your pick. He's gonna flip too. He loves Louisville anything, so I'm gonna make some baseball cards out of that. Then my son goes to Cactus Shadows High School. That is their logo. So I already made his graduation card. I did the spiral die one, but maybe I could add this on. I don't know, but I think it looks pretty cool. But he also, I could have put it on gray as well. So either one. So that's another one. And then the last one, okay, so I have all these here. Look at all the playing I did. Oh my gosh. And the last one, I just want to show you one more little technique because you can kind of get more for your buck if you do this. So this one, this is fresh freesia, and this is pansy petals. So if you cut out two, oh my goodness, look at my inky hands. If you cut out two of these and you can mix them up, then you can make two hats that are very similar. So I'm gonna trim the brim of this one just like I did that other one earlier, the polished pink one. So now you can, and then this one I already did. You could either go like this, or you could go like this and make it either way. But whichever way you do it, you know, you have two cards. So actually you would cut this off. This one you would cut off. Oh, I hate to cut it because then I can't use it. But what I'm saying is if you just cut both of the, well, let me just do it. This one I'm going to cut above though. So let's go like this. And now we have, from two dies, we have two different cards that we can make. So this one's going to go like this. And when you're placing it on your white cardstock, you know, it'll go together. And then this one will go like this. So there you have two dies and two different cards. They're both coordinating. You can use the same colors, but there you go. All right. I think that's it. I also wanted to point out my host code this month. If you see any products that you would like to have for yourself, please use my host code. However, if your order is over $150, just go ahead and use that code yourself. You can redeem your own awards or rewards. And then let me show you all the combinations I did. And then here was the original card that we did. Well, I hope you enjoyed this fun set. I really am having fun with this, and I think you'll enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and we will see you again next week. Remember, I do my videos on Tuesday and Friday mornings. And one more thing I want to mention, we are going to be using this set for my Creative You in July. However, I haven't shown you the card that we are going to be making. And remember, you don't have to be local to the Phoenix area to get in on these projects. If you just place an online order of over $35 and use the host code, you qualify for the 3 free projects that we will be making. And so once you put that order in, you don't have to email me or anything. I will automatically send you the kits to the 3 projects, and then you can create those at your own leisure in your own home. And I will also send a PDF that will help you put them together and give you instructions and measurements. And that's my way of saying thank you so much for your order. Now, if you are local to Arizona, just shoot me an email or a text or an instant message saying that you'd like to attend, and I'll give you more instructions like directions to my home. And so I hope that you'll join us. All right, you guys, take care, and we'll chat with you again next week. Bye-bye.